You know, Jerry, I'm not going to tell you that these will increase in value or even hold their current value. The truth is, you bought them because you like them. They have value to you. That's what matters.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an excellent day today. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies having a very mixed day. Bitcoin still leading the way, up 1% today. Lots of the altcoins in the mild red as all eyes are on Bitcoin attempting to put in a new all-time high. So are we going to have a $60,000 Bitcoin by the weekend, or is this going to just simply end in disappointment the same way that it ended in disappointment? The fact that Oracle, lots of people thought they were going to announce a big Bitcoin purchase. Well, they had absolutely no mention of it whatsoever at their meeting. So some people were a little bit disappointed about that. So is this just a big fake out and we have to go and fill some of these lower levels? Well, I do want to talk about that today. I want to discuss the fact that Goldman Sachs specifically, though, says that there is insane demand right now. Now, we were speaking about the Bitcoin whales actually showing that the distribution of the whale wallets showed that they were selling Bitcoin, but yet the price was going up. And I did have some theories about that yesterday, but in today's video, specifically talking about Ethereum, it looks like some of the miners are planning an attack on the Ethereum network. So we're going to talk about what this means. Should you be worried? Is this going to affect the Ethereum price? All of that today. If that sounds good to you, you know what to do. If you're not subscribed, well, consider it. We do these videos every single day. And without further ado, let's dive into the chart. Now, the one thing on the Bitcoin chart that I actually find interesting is that we did actually come down here and wick at the top of this diamond. And remember, I told you guys we were putting in this diamond pattern, right? And you can see right here, as soon as we got above it yesterday, we came down and we wicked exactly to the top of the level. So this is showing that the bulls are still in control. They are still trying to push the Bitcoin price up to new all-time highs. Obviously, the levels that we are looking at is the $58,200 level. We don't have anything else but price discovery above that level, so that is what we need to break above. Now, if we fail to break above that level, as I told you yesterday, I do still believe that we will be supported by this trend. I think anywhere on here would be an amazing opportunity if you're looking to trade Bitcoin. I wouldn't be looking to short just yet, although technically this is consolidation below the previous high. But as we know, the trend is your friend and has been our friend, right, so far. So even if we were to take a dip, we're probably going to have some kind of a bounce here. If we were to fall below this level right here, then I would be getting a little bit more cautious. So, you know, if we're down in the $47,000 level, that's where I would start to get a little bit cautious. And then if we were to fall below the $44,000 level, then we have to go over to our previous blue box territories, and we are looking for that ultimate fill that I've been talking about for multiple weeks on this channel, which is my ultimate low goal at $40,000. Could we see a wick down to 38, 39? It's possible, but right now, having a look, you'll notice that we are still above the critical resistance. You can see when Bitcoin was trying to break above this level, we hit it multiple times, and you can see right here, it acted as resistance again. If we bring the line over a little bit more, it acted as resistance again. Also as resistance before this big move, and just now we are actually having support. So as far as today goes, on the short term, Bitcoin is still looking like it's trying to push higher, but as we approach the weekend, we do know that things can get a little bit crazy. But let's talk about some fundamentals. We have an Israeli investment firm, Altshuler Shaham Investments, that serves pension funds and other clients, has revealed the purchase of $100 million worth of Bitcoin, which has now doubled to $200 million. And interestingly enough, our good old buddies over at Goldman Sachs apparently have had a change of heart. They go on to say that customer demand towards Bitcoin continues to expand for the banking giant. According to the COO, John Waldron, he noted that the organization is looking to develop and release a Bitcoin ETF, which is somewhat surprising, having in mind the bank's hostile approach and views until recently. So he outlined the rapidly growing client demand and added that we are regulated on what we can do. We continue to evaluate it and engage on it. And I think what we're really seeing here is that everyone is just having to get their hands in Bitcoin, right? We're seeing the naysayers turn around and now try to be custodial solutions. We're seeing it get put on the balance sheets. According to Goldman's president, though, the bank's plans won't stop there. The organization has requested details on how to become a fully regulated digital asset custodian. He explained that Goldman could currently custody such assets but can't principal them, as it's not regulated to dealing with digital currencies yet. However, there is a bit of a concern, and this actually comes from Mark Mobius, obviously talking about the over 600% increase in Bitcoin in just the past year. He's also talking about these stocks, right? Talking about Tesla, putting it on the balance sheet, MicroStrategy, putting it on the balance sheet. And he says he's a little bit worried that maybe tech stocks are getting too correlated with Bitcoin leading the way, saying that if Bitcoin was to have a sharp hit, that he thinks that these tech stocks would get hit badly. He says, I fear, by the way, he's saying he doesn't want the price to decline. He's just saying that he would keep his eye on it as an indicator. So very interesting to see that Bitcoin is really getting accepted, full on in the fintech space, now that guys like Tesla have bought it, etc. Very, very interesting. Now, we were let down a little bit that Oracle's claims of announcing a $72,000 Bitcoin purchase yesterday was left unsubstantiated by the executives. So it says that there were claims that they were going to buy a large amount of Bitcoin. Confirmation should have come on Wednesday, but an earnings call failed to confirm their suspicion. So some people were saying that had to do with why Bitcoin took a hit, because everybody was let down that Larry Ellison did not disclose an investment in Bitcoin, but he did disclose the fact that he was bullish on the trading environment for the coming year. So entrepreneur Jeff Booth, he had a little bit of something to say about that. And he said, for those caught in the day-to-day pricing of Bitcoin, it is a long journey. And the fact that Oracle hasn't bought yet is actually a very bullish sign, signaling just how early we still are. So there you guys go. There you go. There is a silver lining on every cloud. But you know who did go all in on Bitcoin? Peter Schiff's son, Spencer Schiff. He says he went all in on Bitcoin on the last drop below 50K. 100% of his portfolio is now in Bitcoin. He sold the last of his silver stocks to raise the cash. If my own son is this brainwashed, imagine how vulnerable most kids are. He's hodling to infinity or bust. And Pomp says, well, at least someone in your family is going to grow their wealth this year, right? But it is looking good for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. We're seeing the interest from these publicly traded companies. We're seeing interest from these investment firms. Goldman Sachs looking to custody Bitcoin. PayPal releasing the opportunity to buy Bitcoin. We're seeing advancements even in the background with the Lightning Network. I know we don't talk about that too much. And now Gary Gensler, Biden's pick to head the SEC, has been approved by the Senate committee. And we know that Gensler has been somewhat pro-Bitcoin, although maybe he hasn't come out and said it exactly. He does say that we do need regulation around Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and not in the means of banning it, but actually in a way to make it more accessible and to understand our guidelines, right? So this is a very bullish thing, and I'm happy to see that Gary is actually approved by the Senate committee now. However, we do have a little bit of fun. We got some fun today, right? And that is that Ethereum could be potentially under attack by some angry miners. So in a show of force against the implementation of the Ethereum Improvement Proposal, or EIP 1559, on April 1st, Ethereum miners are planning to direct their hashing power to the Ethermine mining pool, which opposes the proposal. The coordinated action will last 51 hours, signifying their intent to harness more than 51% of the network's hash rate. During that time, the activists plan to analyze what will happen to the Ethereum network under the guise of educational purposes. Now, this is something we haven't seen. So if you're asking me, K-Dub, what does this mean for the Ethereum price? I don't really know. I don't know if this is going to be something that everyone is going to FUD, or if it's going to be a whole big nothing sandwich. I'm not too sure. I do know, though, that they are planning on doing this on April 1st, which is April Fool's Day. So Not saying that this is a big prank just to freak everyone out, but April 1st, you always got to be a little bit cautious on anything on that day, right? So it says that Ethereum miners generally oppose EIP 1559 because it will swap the current bid system base for set fee base model plus a small tip for miner compensation. In a nutshell, it's likely going to cut the miner revenue. They're not going to be making as much money, right? So this is something that upsets them. Now, shout out to Michael D. Carter. He's the host of Bits Be Trippin'. This is YouTube video down here if you guys want to check it out. He explained that the movement's motives by saying that they want to demonstrate that miners can coordinate their actions. A show of force like this is not attacking the network. What it is showing, though, is that miners can coordinate, and any tick up for Ethermine, which right now has less than 40% of the Ethereum network, any tick up towards 51% shows that a focusing of hash power can occur. Now, Carter points out that the proposal of this is to run an experiment on the Ethereum network, so it's not necessarily like they plan on doing anything nefarious. Okay, they're just trying to prove a point, I guess, to make a statement. He says, so the moment that the activists have the potential for a large drop in total yield. Sorry, guys, I feel like I need some water, and I don't have any water. I usually have a jug of water next to me. I don't know. We actually had to make this video super quick today. So, but he says the moment that that activates, you have a potential for a large drop in total yield. That coupled with a low price, if that was to occur, creates a shelf essentially that hash power will fall off from. So under this scenario, Carter says an incentive structure is now in place for a would-be attacker to exploit the reduced hash power. So like I said, I don't know if this is a bunch of FUD. It's developing. This is my first time hearing about it. I've heard of things kind of like this in the past. You know, we've seen a lot of things, especially with Bitcoin. We've seen miners rebelling. We've seen forks, chain splits, things like that. This is on Ethereum, though. Could be a little bit of a different animal. However, coming down here, Reddit user DC Investor, he slammed the actions of the Ethereum miners planning to participate in the April 1st action. He accused them of having an extractive mindset that cares for nothing but getting paid, adding their actions will hurt all stakeholders in the near and long term. He says Ethereum is just a network that pays them. They love it because it's paid them a lot, but they have zero attachment to the community, users, or apps because according to the F2 pool lead, F2 Pool has really been getting some flack lately. Many miners don't even use the network, so it definitely could get a little bit bumpy. I don't know how this will fundamentally affect the Ethereum price. Having a look at Ethereum had a little bit harder of a rejection here, whereas Bitcoin actually got above this trend. Ethereum got held down by the resistance. The resistance is still acting as resistance. So Ethereum is struggling a little bit more to have that breakout move in comparison to Bitcoin. However, I did note in yesterday's video that it does look like Ethereum has attempted to put in a bit of a bottom on this ascending trend for Ethereum Bitcoin pair. So I don't know what this FUD, how this FUD is going to affect the price, but from a technical standpoint, this looks like Ethereum should at least minimally have a bounce on its Bitcoin comparative and come up to at least hit this line right here, which you would think would obviously translate into its dollar value, unless Bitcoin just took a crazy plummet and then Ethereum stayed where it was. I guess technically that could change it too. But, coming back and having a look at this Bitcoin chart right here, if I could just clean this up a bit, you'll see that we had the trend right here. You see that I pointed out, and Bitcoin actually flipped above it, whereas unfortunately, Ethereum is still held below it. So yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. Let me know what you guys think about that. But I do want to end on some positive news, if this is even considered positive news. But yeah, apparently we had an NFT that was bought for $15,000 in 2018, just sold for $8 million. It's this CryptoPunk alien. Someone somewhere thinks that this is worth $8 million. I don't have much of a comment on that, but if I had $8 million, I would be parking it somewhere like Bitcoin or not an NFT. But what do I know? I mean, I guess this is worth $8 million. Let me know what you guys think about that below in the description. But that's it for me today. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Today's update was a little bit quicker than usual. I got a lot of things going on, but I couldn't leave you guys hanging. Get subscribed if you haven't. Hit the bell notification. If you guys are interested in learning how to trade, head on over to Bybit. I do have a tutorial, and yeah, that's about it for today. We have thousands of dollars in bonuses below. Check it out. All different types of, between ledger, different discounts. We have, trading fee discounts. If you want Femex, they have $10 a month. Unlimited trading. That's it. They never hit you for any other exchange fees. So check that out below, guys. That's it for me. My name's K-Dub. This is CryptoZombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.